Dave Joe once again. Pleased to be joined this time by Aylesbury's very own AD Burden, light heavyweight boxer. How are you, AD?
I'm not bad. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Fair to say we haven't seen you in action for a while now. I mean, is everything okay on your end? I think looking at BoxRec, you last fought a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had a few injuries. I was supposed to be on the Billy Joe Saunders show, and then I had an injury just about a week before that. It's been a long injury. I think it was going to take about 6 to 9 months to repair,
Oh, okay.
and then obviously COVID hit, and no one's really been able to do much, really, have they?
No, was that the card over in Stevenage?
Yeah,
Yeah, over at the football stadium, wasn't it? Before he
yeah.
wow, that would have been good to be fair, you know. But what kind of injury did you have?
I had a rib injury.
Oh, right, okay, okay. So that's mended now, and now it's obviously the COVID season, isn't it, and stuff.
Yeah, obviously that's my ribs are all right now. I mean, I haven't been punching it for a while, so I'm not currently in the gym with all the COVID stuff.
Yeah,
But hopefully, when I get back to sparring, it'll be fine again.
yeah, good stuff. Last time I actually saw you was on Joyce's undercard at the Indigo, so against Ian Lewison. So that
That was
was
a long time ago.
yeah. I mean, I remember it because it was a big media circus around it because it was one of David Hayes' first ever shows, wasn't it? And I think you
Yeah,
guys were training at the back of the tent, at the back of the Indigo, coming in doing your ring walks. I think Dwayne Sinclair was there as well. It was a good night, wasn't it? To be fair, good
yeah.
result
It
as well.
was actually, yeah, it was a good night. There's some good fighters on that show. To be fair,
Yeah, it was fairly decent, and most of your career has been, I think, all of your fights were at your call.
yeah,
Yeah. And I bet you're missing those kind of events, aren't you, in terms of that crowd? Because you could sit anywhere in those seats and have the same sort of view, and you could be bumping shoulders with sort of the boxing elite because it's quite an intimate sort of area and a staple of British boxing,
yeah.
isn't it?
It's definitely the best venue.
Yeah,
Small. You don't have to. It's got obviously because it's so small. Like you said, you feel like no matter if you're sat right at the front or you sat up in the stands, it's basically the exact same view. If anything, I think you get a better view at the top than you do at the bottom.
yeah, because it's kind of like that open sort of area. Hopefully, I think it's a listed building as well. So if it does need any repairs and stuff, that's the place to do it. I mean, have you been keeping up to date with your weight division as well, the light heavyweight division?
Um, I have, but not much has really been going on unless it's top level, which obviously I'm a bit away from the top level yet.
Yeah.
But I try to. I've just I think I've had a little bit of break, recharged my batteries, and just rested myself really.
I mean, I wanted to get your opinion on when we say the top level. I mean, there was a fantastic fight, wasn't there, between uh, Lyndon Arthur and Anthony Yard. Did you watch that one?
Yeah, I did watch that.
And what was your sort of takeaway from it? Because from what Yard said, he thought he deserved the fight. Lyndon Arthur got the nod in the end. I mean, what was your takeaway from that fight?
Arthur controlled with a jab.
Hmm.
It was good. He's good. He's got a good jab. To be honest, I'm not trying to disrespect Yard because I don't know him personally, but he don't. Why is his corner just shouting lines in the camp to him? You've got to give him some instructions on what to do. Really, he didn't. I don't know. I don't. He done great against Kovalev, but I thought he looked at that fight as he was a level above Arthur.
Hmm.
Personally,
Yeah, I mean, you want to aspire to fighting the likes of that sort of division, and hopefully you'll be back up there. Um, City of Aylesbury, town of Aylesbury, they're all behind you. Do they come and support you when you're fighting?
yeah, they do. They get behind obviously the boxing, and so yeah, hopefully, obviously when COVID's back and you can sell tickets, I'll be back in the ring, enjoying myself, injury free. Don't have to worry about injuries, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, to be fair, I'll fight anybody. Whoever I get told to fight, I'll fight. it's not. I don't really want to sit about now. I'm 25, so by the time I come back, I'm going to be 26. I don't really want to stay at like journeyman, fighting journeyman. Obviously, I'm going to have a couple of fights, get back into it. By then, I'll probably be out nearly 3 years. But I want to start getting up there now. Win, lose or draw, just fight anybody.
I mean, you've got a perfect record so far as well. Managed by Steve Goodwin as well, aren't you? So you've got a perfect record. And is this going to be what sort of month do you think we'll see you in action? Because the British the British Board of Boxing Control are saying that they're possibly going to be resuming shows again mid-February. They haven't given an exact date because anything can happen, right? Because they could extend it again and so on and so on. But when the year kind of started, what were yours and Steve's sort of plans? Was it going to be sort of? Did you have shows lined up or?
I think. Well, I spoke to him not long ago, and I think said around about like June-ish time, maybe September, around there, when like the vaccine would kick in, and then you'd be able to get crowds back there and sell tickets. But like you said, you don't know what's going to happen. 1 minute you're told you're allowed Christmas, a couple of days before you're told you're not allowed it. No, yeah. I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen, to be honest.
Yeah, it's quite disheartening as well, isn't it? From a human standpoint, not just from the boxing world, because you just don't know whether you're coming or going, do you, AD, at the minute?
No, you don't, and they're confusing on what they're saying. You don't really understand half of the things they're saying because you're not allowed to go and see your family, but you're allowed like a builder to come in your house and fix your house for you.
Yeah, the only way around is builder's your relative, I suppose. Then you've got it at both ends, haven't you?
Everyone's just going to say their builders say go around and see their mum and dad, aren't they?
Yeah, or Deliveroo drivers, or Uber Eats drivers. There you go.
That'd be the way forward. Everyone gets new jobs.
So, in terms of boxing, is this your main bread and butter, or do you support yourself in any other way, or because it's hard?
No, I am. My day job is building.
Yeah.
So obviously, when I was in boxing, it was getting to a point where I was having a fair bit of time off of work to do it. So when I was like active, it was getting to that point. But then when I become injured, I then realised that I have to go back to my normal job and work a lot more than I was. So now at the minute, I'm just currently working on a building site.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be back in action soon, mate. When you get the call and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
You've been on 2 David Haye shows, haven't you? Both the Joe Joyce fights.
Yeah.
One at the York Hall, and one obviously at the Indigo, which we just talked about. Did you spend any time with David? Did he give you any words of advice? Because I think you were about 6-0 then, weren't you? 5-0.
Yeah, I went to his gym for like a media workout. You have like a little odd chat and to say like before we walked at the O2 Indigo, he said to everyone, obviously, like if you do good, you get a knockout. We'll try and get you highlights on the TV show and all that. But I didn't really talk to him too much, to be fair. I don't know.
Your own sort of fight and stuff, weren't you?
Yeah, I was kind of just with my team and focused on that, so I don't really know him too well.
And just wanted to get your thoughts on the government sort of take on and no doubt you followed it, about the sports money not going to boxing. As a boxer, what kind of message do you think that sends out to kids, and you being a boxer, what's your thoughts on that? Because it's a lot of money not being invested in the sport, isn't it?
It's like they're investing football and stuff like that, but realistically, footballers get paid a hell of a lot of money anyways. They don't even need to worry. Whereas you're looking at people my level in boxing, and sometimes you have to pay to even fight. So why not do something that helps out us a little bit? And obviously, 9 times out of 10, if there's a troubled youth or something, they go into boxing. So it's proven that it's good for troubled people. Like as a teenager, and that's how I found boxing. It needs to just be fair on all the sports. It's not just boxing; it's every sport that's struggling. Every single sport you can think of. So you just need to be fair and divide it out equally to every sport, because every sport helps people.
This year in particular, right, with everything that's going on worldwide.
Yeah, definitely. Because no one's really done anything, but it seems like they've just thrown everything into football in my eyes, because now football's back on the TV. Obviously, boxing is, but only with the big promoters. So the small hall promoters, there's hundreds of fighters just not done nothing for a whole year.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for COVID, it would be fair to say that, you know, the York Hall would be getting booked out regularly. You know?
Yeah, well, just look at the buildings as well. It's not like, look at all the venues. They like, York Hall's pretty much booked out every weekend, and that's not had no income. So it's been really hard, to be fair, the last year.
Yeah, and it's continuing in now, which is a bit of a shame. So look, you're going to be out in June. Please let us know when that happens. We'll reach out to Steve as well. Have you got any shout? Oh, one quick question as well before I go. Just reminded myself. AJ versus Fury. Now they're talking about a possible venue. Yeah. If your last pound was on it, who would you stick that pound on, and why?
Fury.
Yeah, you didn't even have to think about it, did you?
Nah, I've been, obviously, all my mates all speak about it. Me and my dad speak about it. All the people at work. Just from watching Fury against Wilder was a massive hitter. AJ hits hard, but Fury made him look stupid. He's massive, but he moves like a middleweight. I don't think obviously in my generation of watching boxing, we weren't taken away not like the alleys or anything like that, but name a heavyweight in our day that moves as good as Fury does. I don't. You wouldn't think, for a big lad like AJ's quite robotic. He'll move his head a little bit, but he don't move himself as well as Fury does.
He should. He does move, doesn't he? Yeah.
I just think he don't knock him out, but he beats him on points.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Hopefully that one comes out. You know, hopefully that will put a smile on loads of boxing fans' faces. To be fair, not just Eddie Hearns and Bob Arum's.
I can't see that happening unless they can sell out an arena, though.
But you need a gate there, don't you? And pay-per-view. You need a combination of both.
Imagine one of the biggest British heavyweight fights probably ever, and you can't get no fans there.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening, to be honest. But I don't know.
It'll be an injustice.
It'll be great to if it's on, 100% watch it. And if I can go, I'll obviously try and get tickets. But you can't put a show on like that and a fight like that without crowd there, I don't think.
Yeah, 100%. You definitely need a crowd behind you. Adi, just before we wrap this up, any shout outs, any messages, anyone you want to plug or anything? Where can we follow you?
Huh?
Where can we follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter, so AD_Burden. Instagram, exact same. And I've got Facebook, is AD Burden Box. At the minute, don't have any sponsors, starting from the beginning again. So, but yeah, hopefully, providing everything goes well, maybe June. If not, hope it'll definitely be September time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back in the ring and taking off where I left. And then when I've had a couple of little build-up fights or one build-up fight, just going to throw myself in and see where I go.
Good stuff. I mean, like I said, you've had a decent crack at it so far, unbeaten, and hopefully that continues. Thank you once again from the Boxing Voice, mate, and we will catch up with you soon.
Nice one. I'll catch you later, mate.
If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive, from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.